What is up, everybody? Welcome to this special episode or whatever. We're gonna go ahead and kind of break down really quickly and just go over our brief thoughts and stuff about the presidential debate. I have got my better half here, my boyfriend Bradley, to talk about it. I think it works because one of the first videos on. You should be here, so it works out.
Hello.
But hey, baby, how you doing?
Good. Are you?
I like your icon.
Got them watching a Massacre live.
Yeah, that was something. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. Again, this is gonna just be kind of like a brief, kind of special review breakdown of our specific thoughts on the debate, and as the election goes on and stuff. Obviously, I know I'll be on here talking about things and stuff. Bradley will probably be joining me here and there. I know politics isn't his thing, but
not at all.
Yeah, but I also love that, I think that's probably a lot of people. I got really big into politics in high school, in my senior year and stuff. But I think for the most part, a lot of people just don't take it as seriously as the extremists on both sides. And
Listen,
so go ahead.
There's an extent that you should care about politics and about your government and your president and policies, all that stuff. You should obviously pay attention to that sort of thing because it could affect, and it does affect, your daily life and stuff like that. You do have a say in it as an American citizen.
Trust me and Bradley are feeling it with the inflation.
Yeah, like when it comes to voting, like every American has the right to speak their voice on what they want to happen in their country. And so I do think it is sad that a lot of people like myself just don't care enough to even want to vote anymore because we don't trust the people that are presented to us as choices, which is sad because I want to believe in someone to run our country. I really want to.
Sure.
I don't believe in either of these people.
Yeah.
I don't trust them either.
I to a certain extent agree, and I disagree, and we'll get into that in a little bit. You and I have talked about this a lot. For me, it is a bit more personal, and if you guys haven't already, check out the interview I have with Mason Menega, kind of because it kind of gets into a little bit of like the personal reasons of why I'm so against Trump and all these things. But I do see both sides. I try to be as kind of unbiased as possible. Admittedly, yes, I was very much involved in the church and stuff when Trump got involved back in 2016. And I saw things that really opened my eyes to the type of person that he is and his intentions, which, is really like pretty much any other politician out there is for a vote. He does not, what he says doesn't mean he's going to act on it or that he's going to do it or it's for the vote. And so, so for me, it's a weird thing because I'm not particularly a fan of Biden. I compare myself to kind of Bill Maher where, he says that I'll vote for Joe Biden in a jar of blue liquid over Donald Trump. And that's kind of where I'm at. I don't think Donald Trump is the end of the world, or I don't think he's the end of American democracy or any of those things. I do think he is a danger, though. I do think he's one of the significant dangers, at least over, the past century, I think, of somebody that actually is encouraging these mindsets of destruction, to be honest, of America and American democracy. He leans very much more towards communism and those types of things. And there's even video of him saying hey, I want my people to kneel and bow and be as respectful as they are to Kim Jong-un and all that. But it's, he doesn't realize it's not out of respect. Those people are bowing and doing it. It's out of fear and out of all of these other reasons and stuff. And so, um, this is very weird for me. It's a very weird election because I don't like Trump. I don't like Biden, and at the same time, don't. I don't think America needs another 4 years of Trump. I mean, at the very least, at least with Biden, things are quiet. We don't have most other countries laughing at us because of comments or names or just petty little childish high school type things that Trump does. And at the same time, too, I think a lot of people that are for Trump's politics and policies don't realize that not all of them may be as great as they seem. But before we get into all the details and stuff, what did you think, babe, of the debate and of kind of these two old men going at it?
Well, to kind of touch on your point about like, yeah, I don't think it's necessarily quiet with Biden. I think it's, I don't know. I think the Dems kind of are out voicing, the more people who are negative. I don't know what it really is, to be honest, but it's definitely not quiet because even the Dems or independents or whoever have problems with Biden, especially including the inflation, which is ridiculous. But another part of that, people are laughing at us. But that's the thing. Trump tried to make it seem like they've been laughing at us and they don't respect us. People like Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, and Vladimir Putin. Like granted, they never really respected us anyway. With Trump, like sure, like Trump had a great point. Like, yeah, they didn't really do a lot. Like with him in office, because him and Putin were in cahoots, obviously. But I really don't think that would have stopped Putin from doing what he did with Ukraine. Putin had his mind made up in Ukraine a long time ago, before Trump was even around. Putin has had his eyes on Ukraine for a long time, and that was always going to happen regardless. Biden's administration had, and even had something to do with that.
If Trump had won again, had a dual presidency, he would have just waited until after.
It wouldn't have fucking mattered.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have fucking mattered. People like Putin have their minds and their eyes set on something, they're going to get it. They're at least going to do everything they can to get it. And Trump was right. It's sad because Ukraine is going to lose. It's fucking sad. All the people that died. For what? It's fucking sad. Yeah. It really is fucking sad. But that's I hate to say it, but that's war. It's sad on all ends. It's never happy-go-lucky. No one ever said war was like that. War doesn't really happen in boardrooms. It happens on the battlefields. That's why it's called fucking war. But what I really thought of this debate, I thought it was pathetic. I thought if you wanted to make a case about people making a mockery of this country, this would be a forerunner fucking case. Just put this in front of any foreigner and just watch them just rip us apart and laugh at us on both sides, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Trump, like, we were in Discord with our friends, and like one of our friends, Tim, made a great point. Like, Trump used to always, like, I'll give Trump this. I don't like really either of them, to be honest. I did vote for Biden in 2020. And I would go back and vote for Biden again, especially at that time fucking period. Right. Especially at that time period.
And now you're not so sure. Yeah.
Now, no.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't trust him. I don't trust Trump. I don't trust either of them to run our country securely and safely and profoundly as they claim they will.
And I just want to say this because I already know, because you just made that statement, we're going to get people and fucking...
That's fine.
Like, oh, you're not going to vote. You're not. But you know what? It is the fucking politician's job. It is America's job to convince me, to convince you to vote.
And
to give that, what do you call it? That like you're endorsing them, in that type of way. And these guys have not shown me. Now, admittedly, I'm in a different place. And again, we've talked about that a little bit personal reasons and all of that. Where I'm gonna vote for Biden. I don't blame anybody, and to be honest, I'm this close to being right there next to you guys of not voting at all. Because it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that I just wanted to
No,
make
you're
that
fine.
clear. Just like anybody who thinks it's stupid that you're not going to vote, or anybody like it's
I'm
not.
sorry.
It is.
I'm
It is.
sorry.
It is the politician's job. It is America's job, and they have done they've failed.
If you think that's stupid, then you think democracy is stupid. Because
Yep.
that's the whole point of this fucking country. If I, as a citizen of this country, are not convinced
Yep.
or in tune to believe the people that are presented in front of me to run the country that I live in, have been
100%.
born in, raised in, it is my fucking right not to fucking sign or check mark those fucking polls. It's my fucking right. And you know what also is your right if you think that's stupid? It's your right to shut the fuck up and shove a fucking stick up your ass. That's also your right.
Exactly. No, I mean, and so that's why I just anybody that is like I'm not voting, or I just say what good argument can you give me to tell them of like why not? You're probably right. There, we have some shit candidates, and tonight definitely showed that in a way that I mean, again, I'm not a fan of Biden and stuff. He impressed me with his State of the Union. But again, that was a very scripted type thing. He knew what he was doing, and that type of, this was a debate with questions, or they don't have that beforehand, and all these types of things, and he had to think on his feet. And it definitely showed that while he may be able to make decisions running the country behind the scenes, and without the camera on him, and maybe with a little time, to think about what he's going to decide and say, maybe he can do that. But I mean, tonight was a very bad example of
poor example.
Yeah, of what he's capable of. And I'll be honest, to me, it's a little sad because I'm not crazy about the things he's done, but I do think he's done a good job. I'll be honest, I think he's done a better job than Trump. And I think a lot of people don't, again, sure. At the time, Trump had policies that, of course, reached everybody.
Listen,
tax. We're not going to tax that. Everybody's taxed equally. All these types of things about tariffs and all that, but they don't realize that those types of things have consequences. A lot of the reason that we have the inflation today is because of the tariffs that he inflicted. And this is research that I've done, many analytics and mathematicians have done. Are because of the tariffs that he installed when he was president. And we're now feeling, and that's something that's happened for years, where a lot of conservative Republican presidents will cut taxes on the rich. And then when the Democrats come in, we have a lot of inflation. It happened with Obama. It happened with Clinton. It happened with that. Yeah. It's a cycle. And people don't look at it as a cycle. They look at it as in, it's only the last 4 years or the last 8 years between these two presidents. And that's just something that is very normal. When you give the rich those types of tax cuts, of course, inflation is going to rise. Spending is going to rise. When our economy is doing well as it is right now with Biden, our inflation is going to rise. All of Americans are spending. We have money where loans are being put in, all these types of things, right? That's just what happens with a growing economy like it, especially coming out of a pandemic like that. At the same time, Biden does no help. He does not help himself in any way, shape, or form. The way that he presents his facts and the way that he presents himself. It's slow. It's forgetful and kind of all over the place. And he doesn't make the points that he starts making a point, and then he goes to another point and forgets about it. And it's kind of this mess of words. And so it's easy for Trump to come in and say things confidently and, say, he's the worst president we've had in the history of presidents. And for me to go, yeah, that's easy to believe, like, so it's a weird spot where you can't defend Biden in this debate, At the same time, you can't defend Trump either because he's just spouting a bunch of bullshit as he usually does.
Well, Trump literally was wasting his seconds. Literally wasting his seconds on fucking retorts and comebacks when he could be talking about what he'll be doing as a president if he's reinstated to improve childcare. All that time spent talking shit, and this is just both ends, but Trump was doing it more often than Biden was. Biden was handed the cards as soon as Trump walked in, and we knew it was going to be that way from the fucking very beginning.
Let's just be honest between both. Biden was slow as fuck.
He was slow, and he had some good comebacks here and there, but I mean, I think the only way you could make Biden even remotely comprehensive next is if you put him next to Mitch McConnell, because they're both fucking near death. They're both fucking near death. But Mitch McConnell is like a fucking mummy right now. My God,
right.
He looks like a fucking mummy. He looks like people are. He looks like he has a stick in the back of his spine, and people are controlling him with the fucking stick.
It looks like Biden doesn't know where he is. He's literally just a confused old man.
Hence my profile picture. This is what he was looking at Trump like the whole fucking time. I was like, homie.
Yep.
No, but
and that's the thing. I think, but see, a part of me thinks, because if you notice, like, watch his debates 4 years ago, or even in 2016, all that type of stuff. Like, that's his reaction to a lot of stuff. He's very just kind of like old man shocked. Just like, just like.
Well, I think the problem that they should have talked about more is Trump supporters, the Proud Boys, and stuff like that, because Trump completely skirted the January 6th question. And if he had a big opportunity, I was talking about this earlier, he had a chance to secure votes. To possibly secure votes from people who are scared or mistrustful of him when it comes to January 6th, when it comes to that sort of thing happening again, right? He had the chance to secure some of those votes, or even possibly secure some of those votes, and he completely fucking failed on every front. He skirted the question. He went on to claim that, which is he's been doing this for a while, that these guys are that these men are patriots, that these men are real Americans. Fuck off with that shit. It's complete bullshit. And Biden had a great point too. And he kind of got him on this one. Like, Trump, no matter what Trump did, he went around every fucking courthouse, every fucking state, local, doesn't matter. And all of them said what he had to say was bullshit.
Yeah.
Unfounded. So fuck it. No matter where he went, no one fucking fell for it, and no one's still falling for it. The only people that are still falling for it are you crazy fucking religious nut jobs who think Trump's some sort of messiah, and that you sexualize and fantasize fucking.
It's not even that's second. I'll be honest. If you want to go biblical with those types of, it's idolize.
It's idolizing.
Shit, idolize that.
It's like what has the history of idolizing politicians taught the world?
What's one of the 10 Commandments, Bradley?
It's taught us nothing, apparently. And that's my big concern when it comes to Trump. I'm not necessarily concerned about him and what he'll do in office. I am, but I'm not. I am more concerned about his insane group of followers and how they bounce off of each other and how he can easily manipulate them to the point that they stormed our fucking Capitol. Which another point I want to bring up is that Trump, this last point. Trump tried to claim that what Biden did a few times was the most embarrassing day of America. The most embarrassing day of America was when our own American civilians stormed the American Capitol. That's the most embarrassing fucking thing to happen in this country. I don't give a fuck what you say. That is ridiculously embarrassing. It's laughable. It's fucking ridiculously disgusting. And you want to talk about being a mockery and a riot to foreign countries? There you go. There's another example for you.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and I think that's the thing a lot of people don't get with this guy with Trump, is that I think it's a weird place to be where it's like I don't like the guy, but he's smart. He knows the audience that he's going for. He knows what he's doing in a sense. Like he knows he has all these evangelical Christians and all these religious people or just whatever extreme. He knows he's got them kind of locked down and stuff.
Yep.
But the thing is, if he were to come out at that debate, and say like, oh yeah, January 7th was bad, he'd lose, or yeah, January 6th. January 6th was bad, like he'd lose half of his base. These guys are, and that's the other weird thing is there is, at least for me, it seems like for him on his side, there is such a majority of extremists of this guy can do no wrong. He's right on everything. He's all, I mean, like, again, somebody that's probably going to vote for Biden. Dude is not right on everything. I am not the biggest fan.
Neither of them are.
But I just think his overall stamp, I guess, on democracy is going to be not near as damaging as Trump, because he's just got the mentality of just almost a communist. I mean, tonight he said twice, "Oh yeah, I'll accept the results of the elections." How many times did he say that to Hillary Clinton, and to and to Biden during the and all these things? Like, it's just the guy has shown more than he has said. For me at least, that his intentions are not in the right place. They are not as good as he wants everybody to see.
Yeah, I don't believe he's running like he said he is. The reason why he's running, I don't believe his reasoning, because he claimed, "Oh, I wasn't going to run, but I saw how bad it was." He was always going to run, and like Biden also said, he whined from the very fucking second before he even lost. He was whining about how if he would lose, he would do this, blah 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 blah.
But that's somewhere I just want to stop, because I just want to address this because that's somewhere that, like, it's a point Bill Maher addresses a lot. I do agree in that, like, before Trump was president, you had Democrat extremists, going like, he'll never accept the president. He'll never do that. He'll, like, basically saying all of the, what you would think at that time were extreme things for Trump to do. Basically saying all the things like he would do. And then he did them. He actually did them. He was like the first guy where it's like, okay, on both sides, where like the extremism was kind of right. It's scary in a sense, where it's like a lot of people said before the 2020 election that he won't accept the results and all of that and blah blah blah. He had said he would, and then January 6th. And so he's just at that point for me where it's like anything he says is out the window of believability for me, or because he's proven, he's shown that he's not going to do that to an extreme standpoint. And I think that's a rare case, because you have a lot of Republicans that, say, oh, Biden will do this or blah, blah. And it's like they exaggerate. But in this case, that exaggeration became reality. So sorry to cut you off there. I just wanted to interject that.
No, you're fine. I don't know. Like, I don't have anything else left to say, but fuck both of them. Fuck this debate. And fuck America right now, to be honest. I don't even care. Like, I don't. I have been embarrassed to be an American since Trump was elected in office. I don't care what the fuck he did for our country. That was good and bad. He did a lot good. I'll give him that. He did a lot good. But I just don't. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. it's still embarrassing. And I will say, like, I'm not with my bias because I don't have a bias for either of them. I don't have a bias in politics.
Yeah,
I
you don't.
registered as an independent, and unlike a lot of independents out there who are too scared to say that they're really liberals, I am actual independent.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about either side. I will never ever pick a color, and the day I do is the day that you don't know who I am anymore, because that's the day that you lost me. I will never fucking pick a color, and I'm proud of myself for not doing that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people my age especially are really pressured to pick a side,
Yeah.
especially from people that they live with
Do you think a lot of people
or
your
are
age
related
are
to.
like lean independent but feel pressure to choose
A lot of
Republican
people
or
my
Democrat?
age are mainly liberal democratic, especially where I come from. I come from California.
Right.
So a lot of people are absolutely like raised to be Democrats. Like you can just tell. But then there are a lot of people who are raised to be Republicans who are more extremist and more hardcore my age, I noticed, because they like to pay attention to the more extremist and more hardcore sides than they actually pay attention to the reasonable, people that actually know how to have a conversation and not let your political color influence a relationship with that person or a conversation.
No, exactly.
Because that's the state of politics now. If I have a different color than you, it doesn't matter if we
If
have the
you have a
same.
different color, you're the enemy.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if we have the same life experience. Hey, both of our mothers could be dead and we could bond over that. But hey, I'm going to let my fucking, anything. We
Politics.
could have anything in common. We get like the same favorite. We could have the same favorite movie, the same favorite actor. Or maybe or God knows. This is a crazy idea, guys. This is a crazy idea. God forbid we have a differing opinion and we can talk about it or not talk about it and move on with our lives. There's another crazy idea.
Guess what, people? Me and Bradley are dating, and he's not voting, and I am. Surprise! Like
we have to break up because you're voting. I don't agree
yeah.
with who you're voting for. You're a Dem, Satan,
Well,
demon, liberal.
it's that same mentality, like of to be honest, of what I grew up in, right? Of like very religious, cultish, of like you got to marry, you got to be with somebody that's a Christian. You got to be with somebody that believes the exact. You got to be with an echo chamber, basically. Nobody can ever challenge your thoughts, or your opinions, or any of those types of things. You have to be with something that agrees on all of it, 100%. And I just think that's stupid.
Yeah.
To me, a part of getting smarter is
it's
being around people that challenge my thoughts and challenge my opinions. And
absolutely. No, you should surround yourself with people like that. But no, like this is to me, at least for me, my perspective, because I started to come into really this political spectrum. The first debate I watched live was the Hillary debates with Trump. And I remember keeping tabs. I remember
debates.
No, it wasn't the debate actually. It was actually the election. I remember I paid really close attention to that election because I wanted to pay attention to that election. I felt responsible as a really young person to pay attention to this sort of thing because I thought, and I do believe, that yes, every voice matters. That is something that I do believe in. I don't think it's a bullshit thing that people just say. I really do think it matters.
Yeah.
Everyone's vote matters. I think everyone should be registered to vote. I don't believe that everyone should vote if you don't feel like you can or should, or like the reasonings I gave for me not voting earlier, but at least my perspective, the stigma around the political election 2016 has infested the behavior, the type of approach of talking to people, debating people, meeting, just anything. That has all gone to shit. Like the tension of that has leaned over not only to movie talk, to all talk, to all sorts of talk, PC culture, all that crap.
I mean, me and you have talked about this before. Even leaned into fucking nerd talk. Exactly. Nerd talk is literally like politics now. You have extremists on both sides.
it's literally like the same. It's the same type of arguments I hear about movies are the same type of arguments that happen with politics. The same people are bitching and complaining. Two people are bitching and complaining. They'll never get anything through to each other, but they're going to sit there and continue to yell and scream, make insults, and just belittle each other until they're tired and go to sleep and apologize to each other the next day. And
Exactly.
then it all happens again. Like, it's
Hmm.
the amount of people, new people, that, at least in my experience, that you can go out and actually make friends with and actually talk to about certain things. It's not a lot. Like, if I meet someone and we become close, and then I have one opinion about something, say about Roe v. Wade, or about something about politics or something, that person will immediately cut me off for life and never talk to me again, treat me like I'm inhumane, like I don't exist, and like I should be fucking hung and dried. Like, that's the state of people now. It goes on both sides. Like, it's just the way things are, and it's fucking stupid. It's fucking childish, and I wish people would grow the fuck up, but apparently that's never gonna fucking happen. And COVID just made people dumber.
I don't know if it made people dumber. I think, but it definitely, yeah. I think the
Definitely
social skills of people definitely went down.
Yeah.
Like people didn't interact with each other,
Which makes sense. But
a year and a half. Yeah, exactly. Unless you were like me or you, or we were still interacting with people online and that type of thing. Like,
yeah,
but there were people that did not. They didn't interact with anybody. They sat at home for however long COVID lasted. No, we're in a different place. Just in society and all those types of things. And I mean, again, I completely agree and see why people don't want to vote. And I'm not out here. Like, you have people that are like advocating like your vote matters. Don't. I completely agree. I just do. I think, it's up to these politicians and it's up to these guys. It's up to them to, get your vote, to get your respect, to get those types of things. And to be honest, it's been hard. But
yeah,
for both of them to get my respect or my. Again, I'm at a place where I do think that he's not the end of the world, but I think Trump is detrimental to democracy just because of his thinking and all this type of thing. I don't think he's Hitler. I do think he's close in his mentality.
no.
Again, he's not
I think
doing
the
this
people
as
that
Hitler does. He's not like trying to kill it, but it's the mentality. It's that I am better. And my group of people that believes the same things I do are better than you.
I don't think Trump's Hitler. I don't think he's anything near Hitler.
Right.
But I think he's idolized like Hitler.
Yeah, exactly.
Where if
and for me that's enough. Where
if he legit shot and killed someone, those people would fucking absolutely defend him.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's where he came to. It's cultish, and it's you're blinded by whatever your thoughts or views of this person are, and that's dangerous. And I think the group of people for Trump that are that way than they are and the group of people that are for Biden that are that way, or it's significantly larger.
Well, there's a reason why the Boys TV show echoes our reality so much, because it is our fucking reality.
Exactly.
Literally is our fucking reality.
Exactly. And I think people do want to see that. Like, I know there's this whole thing, people want to be entertained and all that. It's a balance. People want to absolutely be entertained and forget and be wished away into this, different universe or world or whatever. But at the same time, they want to see those parallels of reality because everybody has opinions. Everybody has thoughts. Everybody has, like, whether they express them or not, they have one way that they're leaning. And people want to see those types of views and things reflected, the things that they believe, the things that they're for, and the things that they agree with, and even disagree with, reflected in media because it's challenging. And so I think as long as it remains challenging in both ways, that's fine. I think for me, the boys has remained challenging in both ways. Starlight is the liberal, just like complete extremist, far left, person.
Even the
And
boys are a little bit
Homelander
liberal.
is this. Yeah, and even the boys are very much liberal. And Homelander and the Seven are the conservative, like
They're fighting for
it's
democracy in a sense.
it's a commentary on both. And I think it's important that you're not so deep into either that you can see the flaws in each and see how each are trying to be honest, manipulate people in their own way and get people on their side and do their side's thing. Were you gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's important not to put all your eggs in one basket, especially when it comes to politicians and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's a detriment to our society. It's a detriment to your mental health. It's a detriment to you as a human being. Blindly or unblindingly believing and sucking up every word that any one of these people say. Blue, red,
Yep.
green,
Yep.
purple, black. I don't give a fuck. You're an
100%.
idiot. You're a fucking fool, and you should be embarrassed in every fucking way.
You should always do your own research. Take these guys' words with a grain of salt because they're politicians. Do your own research. Again, there were a lot of things said tonight by Trump that because of the confidence and because of the things that he says, it seems true. I mean, you believe it when he says it on screen, and absolutely the way that he presents himself. Shane Gillis did a phenomenal skit on this. Me and my brother laugh about it all the time. It's one of our favorite skits to watch because it's just like the whole skit of like, okay, Shane Gillis gets some Trump shoes, and then somebody is like, oh, what did those Trump shoes do for you? They're like, and Shane Gillis is like, listen, I'm not good at basketball, but these shoes gave me the confidence to tell everybody I was good at basketball, and they believed me. And that's the thing Trump has. He comes in very confident. He comes in saying a lot and saying it with this attitude and this, again, you just feel that kind of, this guy, he's a businessman. He knows what he's saying. He's coming with the facts, and obviously, but then you go and you do the research, and it's not all as as true as he wants it to be, or all these different things. And at the same time, Biden is very old and quiet and not able to respond. And it's embarrassing on both sides, in my opinion.
Yep.
But
it's embarrassing when a presidential debate spends 2 minutes when both candidates are arguing about fucking golf.
And they're both 80 years old.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Like,
and both of them failed. Both of them failed.
Yes, I agree.
Answer
there was, at least
efficiently.
For me specifically, there was no winner tonight.
No, I mean the specific question about what do you have to say about the people who are worried about you being a president in your 80s? Like, how are you going to handle that? Both of them failed tenfold on convincing me, at least, and convincing the public that they could do this at their age. I believe Trump could at his age. I think absolutely he's way more, he's there.
Here's my thing. I think Biden can. It's just Biden's not Trump.
But
Biden's not used to being in front of a camera 24/7, putting on the show and being that, like, he makes his decisions.
That's not true. Biden's always on camera.
Not like Trump. Trump's a reality TV show person. He knows.
Well, not like Trump in the sense of like he creates controversy every time he's on camera.
No, but not in the same of that. Trump is a different persona on camera.
Exactly. He creates controversy.
I'll be honest.
Every time he's on fucking screen.
Biden is probably the same person he is on camera as he is, like, it takes him a second to evaluate and think things through and do all this and blah blah blah. Like, he's not as quick on his feet. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just when you put it on display like this, yeah, it looks bad. It looks bad. You can't deny that. You can't defend the fact that he looks old and slow and all that. But I'll take Biden taking his time to think things out before he says it, than just being on the, saying things out of your ass like that.
No, I'll take neither. Thanks.
And I understand that too. Completely understand that too, where it's like they're both fucking idiots. They're both just talking out of their ass. And it's just a weird state to be in. Obviously there's, I think, 5 or 4 months left before the election and things like that. But
God help us all.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Any final thoughts, babe, or anything? I know we went way over that. We just wanted to give our initial thoughts and breakdown. And to be honest, I think both of us were not happy with tonight.
No, I don't. No, I think final really thoughts are World War III is going to happen regardless. Doesn't matter who's in office; it's going to happen regardless. The more that these politicians and the more the public sexualizes and fantasizes about it happening and pushing it towards that, it's going to happen. The idea of World War III has been a fucking sex fantasy for politicians and people who obsess over conspiracy for fucking ever.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen between these two presidents. I really don't.
I think it'll happen afterwards, at least.
Maybe. Now that I won't argue with it. You might be right.
And we already know who it's going to be with.
I think with these two, between these two, I don't think it's going to happen in the next 4 years or anything like that.
No, but tension has been brewing with.
It has, but there's also
a long time.
There's also a lot of over-exaggeration and stuff. Always had tense relations with China. China and Russia have always been.
No, those
as best as we can get along, we'll get along.
Listen. People should worry about China and they should worry about Russia. But the real person you need to worry about is fucking Korea. You need to worry about Kim Jong-un. He is not. No. He's the one that you don't. No.
I disagree. I think we were.
Say all you want. You're wrong.
No. I'm just telling you this from a standpoint of North Korea does not have, not even close, and I mean not even close, to the defense systems that we have, to the technology that we have.
Oh, absolutely. Any of them, they'll get fucking dusted.
They have it, but not even close. We are America. The two strongest countries in the world, military-wise, are Israel and the United States. North Korea tries anything, we will blow them off the face of the earth.
It doesn't matter. We'll blow anybody up off the face of the fucking earth with our firepower. It's
a different thing. No. North Korea is different. We couldn't take on Russia or China like that. We would have. But also that's what I'm saying. We're North Korea. We blow them off the face of the earth with very.
Yeah, but China can't even afford to go to war with us in the first place.
With very little casualties on our side, we go to.
You know
war
how much
Russia,
China loses?
With China, we lose a lot.
China loses more than we lose from our relationship with them.
But we still lose a lot. A lot.
We lose a lot.
We can't.
But they rely on us.
Sure,
they rely on us heavily.
And that's what I'm saying with China and Russia. We get along as best as we can. It's kind of like we need to get along.
Putin.
We have to for the benefit of the rest of the world.
Putin fucking hates America. He hates America.
Absolutely. You think America loves China and Russia? We all hate each other.
Fuck no. Wait, hold on. Here's the real question.
Mutual hatred.
Here's the real question. Speaking from experience, who has known and am friends with people who are from Russia and are from Ukrainian. Their parents came here. From experience talking to them, they even fucking hate Russia. They even hate fucking Putin. So it's not just us, right? Russians and Ukrainians have been coming here for a long time because of their.
With the Russo-Ukrainian thing, it's very similar to the Israel-Palestinian thing, and that's kind of like holy war. Russia claimed that land a long time ago. Blah blah blah. It gets much deeper into politics than people want to, admittedly, get into and stuff. But yeah, overall, I think with tonight's debate, it was disappointing on both sides. I think Trump, as usual, spews a lot of things that are just not true.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's very convincing and good at doing that. And Biden did not do a good job at defending any of the things that he did while he was in office, or any of the comebacks to Trump's, Trump stuff or anything like that. It was just a very, who the real winner in this was? CNN. CNN was real winner. They actually asked some good questions on both sides.
They're actually very fair.
Yep.
They cut them off when they needed to cut them off.
Yep.
It was a pretty balanced.
They didn't cater to Biden at all.
They didn't cater to either of them.
Yeah, they didn't
which
cater
I
to
liked.
Biden. Well, I was expecting
debates should be filmed.
To Biden, to be honest. As much as I don't agree with that, I don't want that. But because of CNN, I was expecting that, but they came in with some pretty hard questions with Biden. To be honest,
we could tell it wasn't like the previous debate. The previous debate was probably more insane than this.
Yeah.
Just because it was just incredibly, you couldn't even fucking focus on what they were saying.
Well, and not only that, I still think the live audience was the greatest thing you can get rid of, because on both sides, you have the extremists on both sides, where if Trump insults Biden, Brandon or whatever, then of course the crowd's gonna go, clap.
It feeds their egos.
And it's like we're trying to do a debate here. We're trying to get
feeds their egos
out to the American people. Yeah,
exactly. It feeds their egos, and you're not getting a genuine debate, in my opinion, when you have that type of influence from either side.
Yep.
From either side, that type of influence, like. If you're gonna have a live crowd, and I know they do this a lot, like, no, I don't want to hear a fucking peep.
Well,
don't even fucking clap your fucking hands.
Yep.
You
clap.
Sit there,
yes.
You sit there and you shut your fucking shut the
100%.
fuck up.
You are there as a witness, basically.
Yeah.
A debate is not a town hall.
Yep. It should not be a pariah for a bunch of people to come in and fucking make a mockery out of. I think it should be. It should be like this going forward.
I agree.
Because guess what? It went by like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we're done.
I remember the last debate going on for like 2.5 fucking hours, 3 hours almost.
Yep.
Ridiculous. Because they couldn't get any fucking thing out.
And they did a great job of exactly cutting, telling the candidate, you're out of time. But next one, yeah.
But no. Final point would just be that neither of them said anything substantial for me to believe that they will do something good or change something in office if they get reelected. I don't care who the fuck wins. It's probably going to be Trump. And we're fucked for the better. We're fucked for the worst of it either way, to be honest, in my opinion. But I don't know. Like, that's just my final thoughts, and I have really nothing else to say.
Yeah. I mean, again, I've talked about, and obviously, if you guys haven't, check out the video, the interview with Mason and stuff, and the channel update stuff. But yeah, it is a bit more personal for me in that, like, coming from the religious side of things and all of that, I see Trump in a kind of different light. Again, I don't think he's the Antichrist. I don't think he's the end of the world. I don't think if Trump gets reelected, it's just going to be 4 more years of him saying a bunch of stupid shit that makes us look bad in front of other countries, and policies that don't come into effect until the next president and all that, because that's what most Republican presidents do. But I don't think it's the end of the world. Everybody's going to move on. Everybody's going to be just fine. But at the same time, I do think he sets a precedent. He sets an example of, like, this is okay. And whoever comes after Trump with that same type of mentality and attitude and all that will probably be younger, probably have a lot more fire and passionate, and it could be more dangerous. He has set this example of that this is okay. that we're not going to disavow this type of mentality or attitude of just pettiness and childishness and immaturity and saying things that aren't factually true, but let's go with it as if it's factually true. Like, I mean, it's that's where I'm worried about. I'm not worried about what he's going to do in the next 4 years if he gets reelected. I'm worried about the precedent that he's set for the next generation. Already look at a lot of like Gen Z kids and stuff. It's this 50-50 split of like, alpha and beta and Andrew Tate lovers. And it's just
cringe.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild where this has now become acceptable. This is okay in a lot of people's minds, and it's not. It's not okay. It's not morally the right thing to do just because you're loud and you state your mind and you say what again, what's on your mind, and it doesn't mean that that's okay. Like, I think that's what it's the same kind of mentality and stuff. I'm sorry that I feel for a lot of like LGBTQ plus people and stuff, where it's like, you're okay just the way you are. Sometimes you're not, and that's okay. Like, we all need to grow and learn different things, and I just think that a lot of politics has turned into this cultish mentality of neither side can do any wrong, and you can't criticize either side, and it's just a very weird place in American politics. But I do think Trump is a big reason for that as well. But yeah, any other thoughts or anything else, babe?
No, pretty much agree with you.
Well, yeah, guys, thanks for, we went way over than I know me and Bradley talked about wanting to do this for like 20-30 minutes, and we're at the hour mark. So
That's fine.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in and for checking us out. There's going to be, like I said, a lot of different talk and stuff on this channel, so it's not going to be just movie talk or just nerd talk or just, we're going to get into politics, we're going to get into religion, we're going to get into world news and all those types of different things, because that's just what I'm into and all that type of stuff. So thank you guys for joining us. Obviously, this was a conversation and something we wanted to open up and just kind of show that, like, obviously Bradley has different opinions and views, and he's mentioned, that voting for him is not really an option right now. And I think that's kind of an important conversation to have, because I think that's a lot of people right now. And I think that is the fault of American politics. That is the fault of the candidates. And when the elections come around and people are upset about who won or whatever, then they need to really look at.
It's also the fault of our public.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, check out the interview that will be up with Mason Menega, kind of going into the Trump specifics and Trump nationalism and Trump and Christianity and the details of what we kind of mentioned here. And then also there's a channel update. There will be some more things coming soon, like our new show, State of the Fandom, and all those types of things. So keep a lookout for that. Babe, I know you have a channel up. Did you want to talk about that or plug that in any way, or did you have anything you want to?
Yeah, I have a channel. It's called Compatible Cinema, and in a few weeks or so, I'm just now getting it set up. I have a Godzilla franchise retrospective planned with a few friends. So if you want to check that out,
yeah. So make sure and follow Bradley on social media, on YouTube. All the links will be below and stuff. You'll see
unless
him
you're a Snyder. Unless you're a Snyder fan, you're not allowed. Sorry.
Same. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, no. Bradley obviously will be here a lot, I'm sure, and I'll probably be over on his a lot. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and for watching. I really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you guys soon. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.